Hey guys, this is part 2 of talking about the boundary, the plasma boundary around Earth. Okay, now let me go. So I gave you like a basic gist of, what I've been researching recently, and I'm just going to go more in depth into it from a spiritual perspective. Because like I said, I keep reminding folks, I'm not a scientist, I'm a philosopher, I'm a researcher, I like the truth. The truth is healing. It heals you, because when you're lost in your life and nothing seems to make sense, it's like, damn, where's my place in the scheme of things? Like, nothing makes sense, everything's all wrong. You gotta find the truth, because the truth heals you. It heals people. Once you understand something, it's like, oh, then it's not so scary anymore. It's like, fear is only in place in someone's mind and heart and soul because they don't understand certain truths, or they're not accustomed to the truth, or they're not prepared for the truth. That's why fear comes into play. That's the only reason why fear exists. If we all knew what the hell was going on, no one would fear much. I mean, we intimidating, but you wouldn't be afraid of shit. Every time I learn some new shit every day, it makes things so much clearer, and I'm not afraid like I used to be. Like, I used to be very afraid and frustrated and lost. Like, I can't get anything right in my life. People keep talking shit. Like, I don't get any love. What's good with life? And once I learn more truths, I start to understand why these things are happening. Like, it's nothing, it's not my fault. Because this world is a piece of shit at the end of the day. But let me get back to the boundary. So from a spiritual aspect, like I said before, this earth has a grid around it, and the grid is set in play to pretty much quarantine the souls trapped on this planet. And that's basically it. Like, it's kind of like what they talk about in Christianity. I'm not religious, so I'm sorry if you're Christian and you're looking at this video and you're totally disagreeing. But this is the one thing I have to say about Christianity, that they kind of got right, but they used it in a way where it wasn't correct. When you feel light, when your soul is light, and you don't have a burden on your shoulders, and you don't have the guilt of your past and have regrets, and you actually feel fulfilled and at peace with yourself and your life, and you made peace with every single mistake and person you called a name, and person you didn't call that one time when they were sick, or that person you disrespected, or that person you wish you hung out with before they passed away. All that burden, when you come to peace with yourself, you feel light. So when you associate ascension with good, that is correct. When you ascend, when you feel light, when you feel like you're floating, not when you're high on drugs, but I'm saying in a very real, spiritual, sober way. You feel light, you feel like the burden is gone. That's actually your soul is ascending, which ascension is good and descension is bad, because when you are heavy, you notice when you're depressed, you're just slumped like this, you don't feel like getting up, you want to sleep all day. You're getting heavy because of the burden of your unresolved conflicts. So that's how the system works. We are all comprised of energy. Energy can have weight, and it can build up. What we forget sometimes is that besides physicality, when we look at our bodies, we're not just bodies, we're just energy. We're just energy transferring from one thing to another, every day, constantly. Everything is made up of energy. Even that rock on the ground that you feel is not alive, because a lot of people still don't believe plants and rocks and stuff are alive, and water. Water is a collective consciousness. Water is a collective consciousness, because when you talk to water, it changes forms. When your tent hits water, it changes forms. Rocks are consciousness. They might not move and walk and talk like we do, but they have consciousness. They have memory. Crystals as well. Crystals have memory and consciousness in them, and they have energy. When I work at the museum on the weekends, and there was this meteorite exhibit, and they had these real meteorites, and there was one with a very strong magnetic pull. When I put my finger to that I felt such a jolt, and it felt good. It felt better than any cigarette I've ever felt. Nature, a meteorite from somewhere, I don't know. I put my finger on it and I felt charged. It's very real. Rocks have energy and memory and power. You know, crystals, meteorites, certain rocks and stuff like that. Even diamonds. I never liked diamonds because girls like diamonds, they'll spend $3,000 on diamonds. I'm like, what can diamonds do for me to fucking spend $3,000 on some damn diamonds? But diamonds do have more than they just look pretty and you know, reflect light very well. Diamonds actually have a electromagnetic field that's very, very powerful. And I wouldn't just buy diamonds just to look cute. Diamonds actually add positivity to your magnetic field as well. But speaking of magnetic fields, mostly everything on Earth has some type of field. Even your cell phones, like things you won't even think, like cell phones give off radiation and all this other stuff. So is the Earth, and then comes the Earth's magnetic field and pulse. Like the toroidal plane. You see how the thing goes like up, like an infinity sign? It goes up and it comes into itself, like it's powering itself, it's feeding off of its own magnetic energy. Well, then after that, then comes the boundary. Now, people say that this boundary is like glass. It's like an actual thing you cannot pass. It's not like a force. But I've heard from when I was watching my videos that this boundary is an actual physical thing you cannot escape. You cannot escape this. It's a force. It's something you just can't get out of on this planet. And there, if anyone out there has done more research on this plasma boundary, please send me a message on Facebook or YouTube to explain this more in depth, because I want to know, why is this boundary here? Does anyone have any good theories as to why this boundary is here, preventing human beings from going farther into space? Because I do not believe that human beings can go very, very far in space, to my knowledge. Maybe the elite have something I don't know, but I've never seen any proof of anybody going farther beyond the moon, okay, as far as space travel is concerned. So it's like, but people have been describing this boundary that's very real and you cannot pass. So it's like, if someone would like to go more in depth about the boundary, please let me know. Another interesting thing that I've learned from, you know, it's funny when I do research how things, I put A, B, and C together. This has nothing to do with what I was studying about the boundary, but I was looking at something that was talking about how fish do not know they're in water. And when I read that, I was like, that is so interesting. So I read about it. Fish don't know that they're, I think it was Minister Inky I was listening to when he was talking about water and the importance of water. And he says water is just plasma. And fish and people and creatures that are in the ocean don't know that they're actually in the ocean. They just exist. Okay? He was trying to figure out now if those types of animals are in plasma, but they're not aware of the plasma because it's just part of them. What are we swimming in as far as human beings? Like, what is this field? We're so used to it, we don't even know what it is. We don't even see it. It's like, what are we swimming in? You know, what are we connecting to? We have air. Air is actually information. If you notice that, breath is what connects us to the world, and breath is how we perceive world, because it's our main way of taking in information in this world. So when folks got breathing problems, you take in life a little differently, a little fucked up. I know this because I have allergies. So when my breathing's fucked up, my whole world is fucked up. These are very simple things that mean a lot. I mean, you know, sometimes it's as simple as shit someone says can mean a lot of different things. And something as simple as your breath connects you to the whole entire universe or this physical reality. Because you know what? It's funny how human beings gotta breathe every day, all the time. What if we didn't have to breathe? What if we could just take in information? That would be great. Because sometimes breathing gets tiring. It's like, oh God. You know, or something gets caught in your mouth or something like, oh my God, my breath. You know, your breath connects you to life. But I just kind of went off topic there. So the boundary, honestly can't talk about it anymore because I need to do some more research on this myself. But I think it's a very interesting thing for people to think about, especially those religious nuts. Like, I'm not into religion, but I do believe that when you do bad things and you do not resolve conflicts in your life, in your journey, that you can get stuck here and you can get caught in the boundary and you can get stuck soulfully in this world, in this matrix, until you get it right. Because evolution, evolving the consciousness, there's no way that certain beings and certain dimensions want someone with all that weight dragging everyone down, because energy, when you interact with someone who's negative, it could bring you down. You know, it could put weight upon you. So maybe there's dimensions and stuff that you're not even ready to enter into until you get these basics right. So if we can just get things right and get it together. I know it's hard for people to get it together because we're in the matrix so bad. When I grew up in the 90s, things weren't as nearly as bad. I mean, I know crack and stuff hit when I was around the time I was born, but things weren't as nearly as fucked up and ratchet and disrespectful and just, I've never seen anything so bad. We're hitting a new fucking low. The gravitational pull of this planet, we might implode upon ourselves how bad this shit is. But I hope people get it together eventually, because I want to get the fuck off of this shit. Like, I'm trying to get my soul weight. I have baggage and unresolved conflicts. I'm trying to solve that so I can get the fuck out of here, because I'm tired of this shit. You know, there are people and beings and angels and spirit guides that volunteer to be on planet Earth. If I volunteered to be on Earth, real talk, as a spirit being, I totally regret that shit. But you know what? I like the challenge. I like the challenge because some people you could tell are not from Earth, or they're not letting the way that this world is stop them from loving someone else or stop them from being a good person. And I would like to say thank you to those types of people that are not letting this bullshit and this matrix turn them into someone that's ugly inside. There are still people that are decent people. They're not always worrying about taking your energy or shutting down your energy and feeding off your energy, because that's what folks want to do to get the fuck out of this matrix and this boundary. So I'm Brooke Thorne, Lorelei Vega. Please check out my Instagram. It's Lorelei Vega with an A and an I at the end of Lorelei, not E and I. It's A and I. So it's LORELAI. Vega, VEGA, one word, on Instagram. On Facebook, you can type in Lorelei Vega with a space. Same thing. Or you can go to my Facebook fan page. I lost some fans, guys, because I haven't had time to manage my page. It's like I'm a one-woman show. I'm doing too many goddamn things. And I want to be well known. I want to talk to people to get this information out there. You guys got to help me keep these fans coming, because I want people to hear me. I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. Shit, some people in my own family don't like me. You think that I care if people that I don't even fucking know don't like me, but I will talk about the truth. You might not like me, but you will fucking hear the truth. The truth is going to be the truth no matter fucking what you say. You might not like me or the truth, but the truth is always going to be what it is. It's just like the sun. You might not like the sun, you might love the sun, but it's going to fucking be there every day. So is the truth. So I'm going to speak the truth, and I'm going to do this research so that we can all be uplifted, because I'm sick of this whack shit. If you're like me, you're sick of the crap that you see on Facebook and TV, which I don't watch, and all this crap and the downfall of the human race, and you're acting like everything's all good. It's not all good. We need to learn these things, like ask questions, simple shit like, what the fuck is the moon about? What is this boundary? Are we bound to Earth? Are we earthbound? Can we get the fuck out of here so we can go on to a different dimension and shit where we can fly and not have to walk and get up to work at some whack ass shit every day? Can we please get out of this shit? Like, so let's get it together, people. You could send me a message, talk to me about the boundary. If you're a scientist, talk to me about the boundary. If you're a spiritual person or philosopher, please talk to me about the boundary, because I want to learn about this, because I want to get the fuck out of here. Bye, guys.